For GM John Schneider and salary cap guru Matt Thomas, the title of this video is the $1 million question that they've been tasked with having to figure out. Simply put, my answer to the question is yes. Allow me to break it down for y'all. Josiah.
Good, bro.
Roll the clip.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the.
Steezy family, what's going on, y'all? Another beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. Hope you guys are enjoying the sunshine. If you're new to this channel, or if for some reason you haven't already, well, here's your opportunity to do so now. Join the family, join the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for us, and don't forget to also leave us a like, drop a comment if you enjoy our content, as that helps out tremendously when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. And last but not least, you want to follow us on our other socials at Steezy Smith on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to get not only the latest of our content, but the latest in the sports world. You're tuning in to Steezy Smith. Let's get to cooking, shall we? To clarify my comments from earlier, while I do believe that Jamal Adams is worth $20 million to the Seahawks and to the Seahawks alone, I don't believe that he's worth $20 million to other teams. Now, that being said, I still don't even see the Seahawks committing $20 million annually to Jamal Adams, as that might just come off as bad business. No disrespect to the player whatsoever. Jamal Adams, he's 24, going on 25. He's still one of the brightest and one of the best safeties in all of football, but there's an argument to be made that he's not even the best safety in all of football. And so when looking at the top 10 highest paid defenders in the National Football League, there's only one DB in there, and that's Jalen Ramsey of the LA Rams at about $20 million annually, and he's universally known as the best CB in all of football. That being said, I don't see Jamal Adams cracking the top 10, but what I can see is a contract that lines up somewhere along the lines of 18 and maybe even 19.5 million annually. When looking at the highest paid safeties on the market, Justin Simmons of the Denver Broncos recently set the market for safeties just a couple of months ago with his 4-year, $61 million contract, which tops out at about $15.125 million annually. And like I said, Jamal is most definitely going to blow that out of the water by about $3 to $4 million. He's been on the record saying that he's not just a safety, he's a defensive weapon. And one of the reasons why I believe that he's so important to the Seahawks, and you can't really place a monetary value on that. Going back to the heyday of the Seahawks defense, the Legion of Boom, right? Richard Sherman was the voice of the LOB. He was the intimidation guy. He was the guy that would go after opposing players, that would get under opposing players' skin. He would go after the media. He wouldn't be afraid to use his voice and call anyone out. I see certain similarities in Jamal Adams in that he's the voice of this football team. With Cam Chancellor being the heart and soul and the enforcer of the LOB, I see another similarity in Jamal Adams in this situation. He's the heart and soul of this football team. With all due respect to Bobby Wagner, I could see Bobby Wagner really passing on the torch this season if he hasn't already. And for Bobby Wagner, as elite as he still is in the National Football League, well, I just think that Jamal Adams, it's time for him to take over as the most valuable and as the best defensive player on the Seattle Seahawks roster. Going back to what I said about him resembling certain qualities of Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, well, his energy is so infectious and so contagious that the team plays better around him. Go back to last season, right? Through week 7, the team had an abysmal 12 sacks. How terrible does it get? Or how much more terrible does it get than that? Well, come the end of the season, well, Seattle ended up finishing 7th in all the NFL with 46 sacks. And I know that Carlos Dunlap is going to have a lot to say about that, but Jamal Adams was a major reason as to why Seattle finished in the top 10 in sacks. He had 9.5, which is the record, if you guys don't already know, by DB, and he set that in only 12 games. And I understand there are lapses in coverage, and he showcased a lot of those last year, but keep in mind, he came into the season battered up, injured, didn't have any chance to establish any sort of chemistry with his teammates or with his defensive coordinator, and he just didn't have time to really gel with his teammates or the scheme. And so when you go back to what he's able to do in New York in terms of coverage, he was literally a tight end eraser, a running back eraser, and he was able to hold his own against receivers. And in certain matchups last year where he was matched up against slot receivers, and those type of receivers aren't really the type of guys that you'd want Jamal Adams matched up against. Now, while it isn't a huge concern for me as of right now, it is a weakness in his game, and it just isn't the strongest suit of his game. But moving into year 2 with the Seattle secondary, with the Seattle defense, I see that improving. And last year, despite missing 4 games, he was still a second-team All-Pro. He was still a Pro Bowler. And so in 4 years, he's been an All-Pro player 3 out of those 4 seasons, and he's been a Pro Bowler pretty much every single year. And so with Jamal Adams, you can expect a whole lot more production in terms of hopefully INTs, we're probably not going to see the same volume in terms of sack, just because last year they were kind of dependent on Jamal Adams' ability to get after the quarterback. But seeing as how the pass rush is absolutely loaded this coming season, I don't see Jamal Adams having to blitz out of necessity, but more so out of maybe providing more of a level of unpredictability towards the offense. But all those things being said, I don't think that if Jamal Adams was traded to another team, I don't think that he'd be worth the $20 million annually. But my main line of reasoning is that not only did Seattle give up 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and a starting safety, but his energy and his ability to elevate his teammates is literally second to none. You can't place any monetary value on that. And with all due respect to Bobby Wagner, I think Jamal Adams has overtaken that Seattle defense as the new leader, and hence why he deserves $20 million, even if he isn't gonna get it. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think Jamal Adams' next contract should look like? In my estimation, I'm gonna say around 5 years, $95 million, with about $50 million of that guaranteed. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is Seattle and Jamal gonna reach an agreement before training camp, or is this gonna last into week 1 of the regular season? Obviously, that'd be a doomsday scenario, and that wouldn't be ideal, but let's hope that they get things figured out sooner rather than later. Again, that marks the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Nothing but love, and Steezy out. Again, this video is going to be dedicated to Mr. Todd Nas. While that concludes this video, we have loads of other content. You don't have to start watching there. Other content on our channel homepage, as well as our social media platforms. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for us. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Nothing but love, and Steezy out.